first 100 days of the Trump second presidency, and two new executive orders are being signed this week. Major overhaul of immigration happened in the past 100 days. And in this video, we'll talk about the major changes, the future changes that are happening, and what you need to know if you are trying to come to the United States or if you're already here and trying to get a visa or legalize yourself. Everything you need to know in this video. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Immigration Channel. In this video, we'll summarize 100 days of the second Trump presidency. This is happening this week at the recording of this video and hopefully the release of this video as well. We'll summarize what's going to happen, what happened in the past 100 days, and specifically this week, two new executive orders that could be impacting a lot of immigrants currently inside the United States and those of you coming in. So I'll cover the two new executive orders and all the major changes that happened since January 20th, 2025. So if you are inside the United States impacted by immigration, or if you're thinking about coming to the United States, you got to watch this video all the way until the end because I'm going to cover all the major changes, the two new executive orders that are signing this week, and what the future will hold for immigration under Trump's second presidency. So let's dive right in. Today, guys, April 28th, the recording of this video is 100 days of the second presidency of Trump. It's happening this week. And right there today, on Monday, when I record this video, two new executive orders are being introduced. What are they? Number one, the Sanctuary Cities Executive Order. Under this executive order, the Trump administration is calling for a list of sanctuary cities and counties that are either protecting undocumented immigrants or their authorities refuse to cooperate with the federal government. These cities and counties are going to be barred from federal funding and other sanctions that the federal government is going to impose. Specifically giving examples like Los Angeles, where they had an ordinance, city ordinance that will prohibit their police officers, sheriff departments to collaborate with the government to give them information about undocumented immigrants that are going through their system. So many cities like that and states will be on that list that will be released exactly 30 days from today. And those cities and counties will be sanctioned under the federal government. The second executive order is called Law and Order, and somehow related to this one, the first one, where the federal government will be forcing local authorities, local municipalities, specifically police and other law enforcement agencies to collaborate with the government, and further than that, also enforce immigration laws, essentially checking IDs, verifying that individuals are undocumented or not documented inside the United States, and passing that information to the federal government. Why is this controversial? It's controversial because under the current law, only the federal government can enforce immigration laws, and state police, sheriff departments are not authorized or are not supposed to check someone's immigration status. Also, when you are going to the airport, TSA agencies are not required to check your immigration status. Well, all this might be changing under this new executive order if, in fact, it becomes a reality. So these are the first two. The third one is specifically focused on truck drivers that are crossing county state lines. Those truck drivers are now required to speak English. Any truck drivers that are not speaking English will have issues with getting licenses and getting employment with any agency that offers transportation services. This is specifically for commercial driver license that are crossing federal state lines. Why is it focused on truck drivers? We have no idea, but this was one of the executive orders. So this has just happened today, and expect more executive orders will be coming in the next few weeks. Why was it important to do so on the first 100 days of this administration? Because today we've seen a statement from Secretary Leavitt and also the border czar, Tom Homan, where they both stated that immigration enforcement will be a priority. And he specifically said that he wants to see more immigrants self-deport under the government's regulations that have started doing since January 2025 with immigration enforcement. So let's jump in to major changes that happened so far, including these two executive orders that I just mentioned to you. Before we jump into the major changes that happen, and I'll tell you what is going to come in the next few months, I want to mention something. If you're watching my videos, and I know you are watching them every single week, but you're not a subscriber yet for whatever reason, please subscribe to our channel right now. It will mean the world to me. Making those videos is not easy, and I try to do this every week for you guys. So please click the notification bell, subscribe to our channel, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to show these videos to more people just like you. As always, if you need help with your immigration matters, send me a text 619-483-4549 or go to www.immigrationasap.com. Leave your details and one of our team members will contact you ASAP. Now, let's jump back into the video. So, the first thing that happened when this administration started is the following. The first thing that they did is mass deportation push. This happened on day one. Their target is about million deportations in 2025 alone. They have a limit, essentially a raft that they need to get every single day. And by the end of the year, they want to get to a million people being deported. Initially, they're targeting individuals with criminal record, but as we've seen with the weeks ahead, that they were getting people that are not just criminal records, people that were in the wrong place in the wrong time, and this expanded to many, many places across the United States. In fact, by the end of the first month, all ICE facilities were overextended, and the government now resorted to other alternatives like trying to push people for self deportation because it was almost impossible to detain as many people as they wanted. The second thing that they pushed for right after the first couple of weeks was the Birthright Citizenship Initiative, essentially saying that if your parents are undocumented and you're born in the United States, you're not going to get US citizenship because it doesn't work like that under the 14th Amendment. That's how this administration is seeing that. This is started by an executive order that came out on January 20th, 2025, and it continued with multiple legal challenges that continue to this day. The final court argument in this area of birthright citizenship is scheduled for May 15, 2025, and we'll see how far they'll go at that point. So if you're worried about birthright citizenship and you are a child of undocumented parents, stay tuned for May 15th, 2025. I'll keep you posted what's going to happen next. The next thing they did were major asylum restrictions. Many of our asylum clients and people watching this channel felt it firsthand. On the first day of his administration, Trump reinstated an asylum ban and brought back the Remain in Mexico program where people that are applying asylum will have to wait outside of the United States for their hearings. In addition to that, just a few weeks ago, the government announced that many of the asylum hearings inside the United States will be decided even without the applicant before a judge, and they're going to be canceling many asylum cases that they believe are not valid or don't have strong evidence. In fact, many applicants already are receiving denial notices for their asylum applications. Next, they terminated parole programs. They went for Venezuelans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, Cubans. All these parole programs were canceled in a matter of a week, and people under these programs will remain without status, trying to change to different statuses inside the United States. Those who had US citizen partners got married and filed green cards. Others remained without status, subject to deportation. This affected over 500,000 people that were left without status. Next, the government continued with suspending refugee admissions. From that point onwards, no refugees were able to come to the United States. Trump plans to redesign the refugee program, but as of now, this program is on hold. Next, what they did, they expanded expedite removal. Before the change, you could only expedite remove somebody who was within 100 miles of the border. Under the Trump administration, if you've been in the country under 2 years, you are subject to expedite removal and they can catch you and find you and send you without court hearing at any time. Next, they implemented the immigration registration rule. If you're undocumented in the country and you never had any contact with immigration, you have to register under a special registration if you're older the age of 14. If you came here with a visa and you overstayed, you're already registered. If you have a visa now here, you're registered. If you have a green card, you're already registered. But if you're Canadian and you plan to spend more than 30 days in the United States, you have to register. Failing to register you'll be fined and imprisoned if they catch you. Next, they started putting scrutiny on legal immigration. If you had a green card and you had prior violations and you were traveling, then those applications were flagged in the system, and green card holders were starting to get detained in the past month and a half. Many of our YouTube viewers have seen my videos about green card holders being detained at port of entry, not being able to come in because of prior violations, and also people that had work visas and they were traveling, they were checking them further, and many of them had issues to re enter the United States. This has been a major enforcement, big deal with legal immigration. Next, they started to revoke student visas just like that. If you had any prior violations as a student, even as minor as a traffic ticket, your student visa was revoked. And this happened in a matter of minutes. And then over 5,000 students lost their status. Just a few days ago, they reversed it in a matter of minutes, again, like a light switch. Now they're redesigning a new policy for students to decide which students can stay and which students should be able to leave the country because of violations under new policy. So right now, this has been reversed, but that's not the end of it. Probably going to hear about this in the next few weeks. Next, we've seen more strict green card interviews processing at interviews where they require more documents, lengthier interviews, and some embassies and consulates were closed, which means that more backlogs are coming. So interviews are getting more stricter, both inside the United States and also outside the United States. Now, what are we going to see coming forward? Well, what we're going to see is going to happen is you're going to see more enforcement. More things are going to be strict inside the United States. You're going to see employment visas are going to be more investigated. You're going to see green cards inside the United States more vetted by more scrutiny for applications. And the result of it that in a year from now, you're going to see more backlogs because it's going to take them longer to do all these things. What does it mean for you? It means that if you're ready to file your immigration case, you should do it now while things are still fairly reasonable. If you have a good case and you don't have any immigration violations, you need to file your immigration case today. These changes in the first 100 days are massive. I don't think we've seen that happen in any prior administration because what happens right now is immigrants are afraid. But should you be afraid? I don't think so. What I think you should do is stay empowered. Understand your rights, understand your background, understand what is possible for you, for your individual case. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't watch these videos and see people being detained because, yes, some people are getting detained and some people are losing their visas. But compared to the millions of immigrants in the United States that continue to go and process their applications, these are minor things. It is important to be aware that Trump is going to be hard on immigration. Therefore, we need to understand what is possible for you and for your case. So, the best thing you can do for yourself is find a good immigration attorney and try to understand what are your possibilities, what are your options with your immigration case versus comparing yourself to others or what you find online. I think eventually things will get better and eventually our immigration system will come to a point where it will be possible for the right people, entrepreneurs, high achievers, people that their families are here to finally get their immigration status accomplished. Yes, we're going to see backlogs, but this is just the reality with this administration. So I'm curious, what do you think? What are you worried about under this administration first 100 days? Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll do a video to respond about your situation. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.